Hello, everybody, and welcome to a sketchy Ask Us Anything, because we are on location at a campground on a remote little lake in Southwest Michigan, and I'm told that we might be a little pixelated and that our audio might be out of sync, but hopefully you guys are there and able to hear us. And I know everybody's going to say, I can't hear you and you're pixelated. We know. And if it gets really bad, we will be able, we'll just have to cut it all off and try it from there. But we do want to give this a try because there's a lot of you on already, and we are thrilled to have you. Where are we? We are on I think it's called Craig Lake, and it's the Waffle Farms Family Campground in Coldwater, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And it is cold water. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is rain falling. The temperature is in the mid 40s. It's supposed to drop down into the 30s tonight. That could mean snow. This was a very busy campground. This was kind of like the last camp out for many, many people in the North and the Midwest this week. And about noon, they started pulling out, and they are gone. And there's like no one around us.
We've got the campground pretty much to ourselves, and I broke my glasses. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses.
We just thought you were a cool hipster. Yeah, it is good. Let's bring on Phyllis, our moderator. Phyllis, are we sounding? They're looking communicable. Benny, can we keep this up? Do you think?
I think you should go for it. There's lots of good questions here. People are just going to have to be okay with it. Just be okay with it.
Be okay with it, everybody. We do want to give it a try. This is one of the vagrancies of the internet. When you don't have a strong connection some places, sometimes it gets a little hard to get through. Normally we're good, but we will give it a try and go from there. So we have had an incredible week. We've been on the road all week. We're heading to Elkhart, Indiana tomorrow. We got some meetings there. It's still a couple of projects that we need to do. So it's been a long bunch of camping for us, and we're going to sleep well tonight with that rain, right?
We are.
All right, a couple of quick things. If you have a question, please put it in caps, all in caps, and if it's a comment, all in caps. That way we'll be able to know. From Facebook, a super chat. Thank you, Steve Loy, for $4.99 for that super chat. Thank you so much for that. This is a good way to let everybody know that you can be a part of our supporters community. We do have both on Facebook, a supporters group, and then here on our YouTube channel, we also have a couple of different levels of ways you can support us through memberships. And we'll put links up to all of those a little bit later on. Again, thanks to Steve for that super chat to get us started. That's always great. And let's start off with the questions. From Linda Simpson is this question.
Are you still using your Clear 202 stage water filter? And if you are, where do you buy it from? It is really hard to find.
And that's all my fault that it's hard to find, Linda, because we have been raving about this all season long. Yes, we are using ours. It's hooked up right now. We are in a campground that has running water. It filters that water really good. I mean, it's drinkable right out of your tap with that water. It's a solid carbon instead of a powdered carbon. And it's a two-stage carbon filter. Love it. Where do you get it? Well, it's on our gear page, rvlifestyle.com/gear. You can find it at Amazon. They are selling out very often because I think because we're talking about it so much. I have noticed they're big green. One is big and green and wide, and you can find, we've done a couple of videos on them this year so far. But yes, Amazon's the only place I know that you can get it. You might search Clear 2.0 and maybe you can order it from them directly. But Amazon, I think, is the way. And we have a link for it at rvlifestyle.com/gear.
And good luck finding it because you're going to love it.
Yeah, really makes a difference, Linda. It's the best filter we have ever had. Bradley Olson.
Okay, if you could only choose one of these options, which one would it be? Lithium batteries or equalizer system?
Oh, that's a good one, Bradley. Two of our must-haves on an RV. If I could only choose one, what would you choose?
How you camp.
Yeah.
If you boondock, the lithium batteries.
Yeah.
I think I would go lithium batteries.
I would too.
I mean, I don't know what you're driving. I don't know if it's a B or a C or.
Yep.
Do A's usually have them?
A's usually have some sort of sometimes it's just a stabilizer system for the low end A's, but most A's have a automatic leveling system.
Yeah, and whether you're camping,
and you need it on the A because they're so long. You know?
Probably comes with it. And equalizer system, if you're in campgrounds a lot, usually they're level. You know, it's not always, but
yeah, if I could only have one, I would definitely go with the lithium batteries, particularly with the study that came out. We have a big story on the blog, Bradley, that we put this week, a big white paper that Battleborn Batteries did that compared lithium versus AGM in all different environments and all different temperature ranges, and even cold, super cold weather. The lithium by far outperformed the AGM. So check that out. It's a pretty big story and an interview that we linked as well.
And we're spoiled. I mean, you just don't want to bend over and put those little blocks down and
for the equalizer system.
For the it is a big luxury to have the equalizer system.
Yeah. But if I only have one, it would be lithium. So thanks for that question. Linda Ward in Robbinsville, New Jersey.
And I'm so glad that, Linda, you loved our UP video. And it made me reread your Michigan UP 7-day adventure guide.
The video went up yesterday, and I urge you to take a look. It's called the UP in fall in full color. And you can see the massive color, the peak color that we encountered in the UP last week. It was awesome. And I had so much fun. And it's been fun to watch the video. Now, here we are. This week, we followed the color down as it came down through the Upper Peninsula and from the northern part of Michigan. And we are in the southwest corner of Michigan. We spent the first part of the week in Holland, Michigan, using the Holland State Park as our base. Full color there. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yep. And Linda, I put a couple of photos in our members group on YouTube and our supporters group on Facebook that shared some of the pictures, but particularly with Bo. We went to Holland and we met up with a film crew. I can't give too many details because we promised we wouldn't say anything about it until they're ready to release it. But we took pictures. We had no idea. We're a film crew, right? We shoot our own stuff.
And it's kind of hard to be the other side of the camera where you don't have control over the editing. At least it is for me.
Yeah. And there are how many people who were in this crew?
There was six for sure. 6
people and a couple of producers. And we ended up, they got a permit from the state park at Holland. They let us use a whole loop that was closed for the season. And we got to set up camp. They decorated our RV. They put these obnoxious lights. Actually, they look pretty good over the awning, big awning.
They look good.
We built fires. We worked all Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday, and all day Friday, 3 full days. And the one thing they kept saying, smile, smile, smile. So we spent our whole time going, and we made caramel apples. We went to a apple orchard. And there's we put some behind the scene pictures up, and we'll eventually put that in a video in a couple of weeks, and you'll be able to see it there. But Bo was the star. They loved Bo, and we had a lot of fun with Bo.
More video appearances.
Speaking of which, James Harris.
You're gonna love Bo. Do we tell him? Do we tell him everything about driving along?
So one of the shots we were in is that we were in this apple orchard, and as we drove in, we saw a big sign that says no dogs. It was a very cold, blustery day. And Bo, so we're going to leave Bo in the RV. And I'd gotten out of the RV a couple times to talk to the crew. And they said, okay, we want you to drive down this row between the apple orchards. And when you get to one end, we have a drone that'll be covering you. And we've got 2 cameras and we're shooting it all. So we're driving down, and they had given us a walkie-talkie. We're coordinated. Well, I hadn't shut the door properly on the RV. And as we got the perfect shot, we're driving. The door opens and out bolted Bo.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Faster than a speeding bullet. Bo darts out. He is running up and down, full bore, up and down these beautiful trees laden with big red apples. And the crew loved it. And I'm just worried that the owners are going to come and find him. And
we don't want Bo to go to jail. No.
Bo. One of the treats we do give Bo is apples. He loves apples. So he's running, and he sees all these apples that are down underneath the tree, and he goes, apples! And he starts eating. So he's eating apples. We're chasing him.
It was very funny.
Anyway, I don't know if that'll make it in the documentary this crew is doing on us, but it was fun.
It was.
James Harris with another question about Bo.
If Bo barked inside your Unity FX, do you know how loud the barks sound outside with all the doors and windows shut? Thank you. Bo has a very loud bark. I mean, if you've ever been on when he decides to bark,
you usually hear him once.
It is loud.
And last night, for example, he jumped up trying to find. He always, about 3 times a night, he tries to find a way he can jump up and sleep with us, and we try to make it so there's not a lot of room.
Well, you don't want to. Always moving over, trying to get him space. I don't
want a stinky dog next to me. But anyway, he heard something outside, and he just erupts. It's a really loud bark, and it was like that far from my ear. I jumped up. So Bo does bark, but how quiet is it? You know, if you're right next to the unit, you'll hear a dog barking inside, but it doesn't echo through the campground.
Well, if you're familiar with what we have now in Wonder, we've got the 2 twin beds, and what is that, about 3 feet long? Yeah. It's like a nightstand in between. And
it actually folds up, and you can put the 2 beds together.
Yeah, so you can make a queen-size bed.
It's in the video.
We thought about making it a queen-size bed, and then we think it's too high of a jump for Bo. Right now, he comes up the 2 stairs, and he jumps up on this nightstand. And sometimes he'll lay down there, but usually he just stands there in pants.
And again, we want to explain, if you're just tuning in, Jennifer's wearing sunglasses at night because she's cool.
I know.
No, she broke her glasses.
I broke my regular glasses,
and
I can't see.
So she's just
without them. So I'm running around with
and we apologize if the video is of lesser quality and the audio is a little out of sync. It's only because we're in a fairly remote area in rural Southwest Michigan. And so, you know, I can't get the internet connection any better than it is. So that's what we're working with. And I hope this is okay for you guys. If it isn't, Phyllis will let us know, and we'll be able to then move off. Question from First Motorhome.
Are you guys still feeling positive about camping and traveling with the COVID situation? We just joined up with family. We had some work to do, and then we were camping.
We did the work in Holland, and then we drove over to this campground on Friday, and we've spent the weekend with a big family gathering.
Lots
of colds, lots of sniffles.
Our kids and grandkids in 4 months.
Look, I don't want to get political, but she's kicking me. But we're going to live our lives as best we can and not be stupid or crazy about it. But you cannot go about. This has been 7 months. This nation cannot function if we continue to be locked down. So be smart, be careful. But we can't. It's insane. You can't continue this lockdown, and it's not. It's eased up pretty good. We've never had a problem camping because camping is the coolest form of social distancing.
I try to bring our food, so try not to eat out. We did eat out one night, but normally we try not to eat out. And I was a little apprehensive about meeting. The crew flew in from Hollywood or from California. Flew in from California. But we tried to stay away from them.
And we were outside most of the time.
We were outside.
They did come in some in here. So we were a little, you're a little apprehensive about all that. But we're going about our life and we did hunker down pretty much from March until June. And then since then we have been doing a lot of camping.
It was more hunkering down June till just now.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That was more isolation.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to move on. Yeah. Anthony.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for you to read it. When storing a motorhome, do you put the jacks down? I
don't think I would. If it's
would they rust out?
No, they wouldn't rust out. But they are hydraulic, and I don't think they're meant to stay for months at a time down and lifting up the vehicle. So I don't think I would.
That's the question.
I'll tell you what. I have a meeting in Elkhart tomorrow, Anthony, with the people who make Equalizer, the system that we have, and I will ask that question because that's a really good question. It's never occurred to me. Mm-hmm. But I'll find out, and I was going to say I'll share it with our supporters group on Facebook. I don't know if you're one of our Facebook supporters or not, but
my instinct would be no.
Yeah, my instinct would be no too.
Because if they were supposed to be down all the time, everybody would have them, and they would tell you to put them down all the time.
Yeah, I think, it's basically just, when you're camping for, I think a week or two is probably fine, but not for
We'll find
season.
out. We'll ask the experts.
They made well tell me it's just fine. Patricia Funk.
I've been following you. I enjoy these sessions. I'm 63 and I am looking for a class B or C to travel and paint.
What a great way to do it, Patricia. Well, enjoy it. Just keep doing your research. This is a tough time to buy an RV, particularly a class B or a class C. They're very high demand. They're very hard to find. Used ones are even hard to find. But now's the time to do all your research. Hey, speaking of research, I want to just take a break here and show you something. We love to give you a quick little tease about the videos that we're working on. And of course, this week, we showed you last week, we teased it, our UP color tour, and we showed you, and that was posted yesterday. If you haven't seen it, please go look at it on our YouTube RV Lifestyle channel. Next week, we are going to do kind of a fun little one that we want to do for a long time, looking at some of the more unique RV models that we have seen through the years. So here is a quick little teaser on the unique RV models that we've seen. That was pretty weird, huh? That was unique. That was probably the smallest, the craziest ones. You pedaled it yourself. I don't even know if they ever did get that off the ground. It was kind of an experimental RV. Anyway, we're going to have fun with that, and that'll be released on the YouTube RV Lifestyle channel next Saturday. So check in and see that, and that'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's get back to your comments and your questions from people on Facebook, our Facebook group, our Facebook page, our Facebook supporters, so a private little group for just the supporters, and of course our YouTube as well. From Sean Gross comes this question.
How can you camp in freezing temperatures?
You have a heater. You might hear it kick on every now and then. The temperature on this trip has been in the 30s at night, and right now it's 43 degrees, and it's going to get down even cooler. And every now and then the heat will come on, but we noticed the other night we set our heater at like 59, 60 degrees, and it's actually too warm. It's too warm for us. So it's fine. The heater works great. We do winter camping as well. We've camped as low as 21 below zero, and it's been just fine with heaters and the proper clothes. Now, of course, you've winterized RVs when it's freezing. You take out all the fresh water and you run antifreeze through to protect everything. And then you camp just like normal with the heater. And then if you have to use the toilet, you pour antifreeze down with whatever you deposit in the toilet that you're flushing, you put antifreeze in.
And you try not to do dishes, and you try to prepare your food ahead of time. A mixture of 50% water and vinegar to wipe down your dishes. Kind
of spray it, put in a little spray can.
That you have to use. You have to plan ahead.
I tell you what, I have a blog post. Actually, it's ready now. I just have to grab some photos for it. So if we stay up a little later tonight, I'll post that tomorrow. How to camp in the wintertime. I'll post that up if you would like to see that, Sean. It'll be at rvlifestyle.com. And you can look for it tomorrow. All right, Joey F. joins us with a question.
Do we ever worry about low bridges when driving the Unity?
No, we've been driving for 9 years. We've never encountered a low bridge in 250,000 miles of travel, Joey, except one time in Iowa. And it was known, we knew about it, for miles around. I think it was a 9.5 foot, and we were in a 10-foot vehicle. And
usually it's posted.
Yep.
for the, for the tunnels that you're
now,
going.
out east, there's more, I guess.
Yeah, and we don't go east.
We seldom go east. We'll go to New England and stuff, but we don't do a lot out east. But we've done almost 250,000 miles now as we hit the 9-year mark. And only once did we encounter a low bridge, and that was well marked and easy to get around.
And if you go spend a lot of time like on the East Coast and you're concerned about that, be careful what you buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that when you make your purchase.
And there are apps that'll show you too. Some of the, like the Magellan app I know has an RV version that lists low bridges. You can check that out. Here's a question from one of our Facebook followers.
Are you having trouble finding camping spots now?
I don't think so. Although most of the campgrounds, this one was filled. We were able to get in. One of the things that we've learned is, you know, if you know for sure you're going to be something, try for a reservation. You usually can. But if you can't, there's almost every place has cancellations, and you can almost always find one. We have not had any place this season, even though it's been hard and a little challenging, but we've not had any night that we weren't able to find a place, right?
Now in Holland, if the campground was filled up for the weekend.
Filled up for the weekend.
Because we were there Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, we stayed
nights.
Wednesday through Friday, and it was filling up. Friday it was filled.
For the weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Now, many of the state parks in Michigan and in other cold weather states are going to be closed for the season soon, within the next week or two. Usually, Halloween is the end for most of them. Some of the KOAs I know have already closed. Some of the in the UP, they had snow up there yesterday, by the way, where we just were. In the UP, most of the federal U.S. Forest Service, agriculture, forest sites, national forest campgrounds, those are closed up now. And many of the state forest campgrounds have shut down for the season. There are a couple of campgrounds that are open all year round. In Michigan, I know one is the one we go to every January at Quamanon Falls State Park. And the other is Traverse City State Park. And that is also open. And those are the only two I know in northern Michigan that are open in the winter. So, but no problem right now.
They should open a couple more.
Devon says, any advice on tires or brands for a new Unity? Well, it comes with tires, Devon, so you don't have to worry about that. You know, you got it. They come with Continental tires. They're great.
So you can't cancel that.
I call your dealer and ask them. I don't know.
Maybe you can.
When it comes time to replace tires, I have always replaced them with Michelin. I just find Michelin to be great. Those are with our Class Bs. I've not had to do any replacements with Class Cs that we've owned. This is our second Class C. This one on the Ford Transit chassis, the other on the Mercedes Sprinter. But I would put on Michelin probably if I was going to replace the tires, but you don't do that till you're 50, 60,000 miles in.
So how much more did the Michelin cost over what?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, I don't think it's an option. Maybe it is, but they come with those they're pretty good tires. So that's something you don't have to worry about, Devon, till 60,000 miles later. Raptor Man.
Do you anticipate supply catching up to demands? And as an educated guest, when?
I don't think until summer of 2021. If you really want to take a look at that, I just did a blog post this week at rvlifestyle.com where we surveyed 24 RV experts on what they thought the next year would look like. And there's lots of really good information there. I saved us for the last, and that was one of my predictions. I think supply will catch up completely by June, by summer, by the start of the summer season. Many of you know that we've been waiting for a refrigerator door, and that has come in. We've been waiting pretty much all summer. It doesn't seem that long, but it's not immediate. And in fact, when we were in Holland, we stopped by Holland Motorhomes on Friday, and there's our refrigerator. And actually, they are replacing the refrigerator, not just the door, a whole new fridge. This fridge works great, just that the door doesn't open on one side. So that's there, and we need to get that installed. And they had at one point Dometic had a 70-day back order for supplies. Most of the supplies are made in Japan, China, or Mexico. And all those suppliers were shut down. So the supply is slowly coming, but I don't think it'll be till late spring, early summer before it's normal. All right, Stephen Loy.
How do you make a continuous video from your black view camera? All I get is a bunch of segments.
Well, you edit them together, Stephen. They all depends on how you record. I record in 4K, and those because they're such huge files, they record in 1 minute segments. And so if I wanted, I would never make a continuous video. One, it's just boring, even if I sped it up. But you edit each of those segments together, and they're pretty seamless. Then you just take, you want 10 minutes, you take 10 of those videos together, and mine records simultaneously a back camera and a front-facing camera, so I could do that. But you have to edit them together. You can lower the resolution that you shoot in from 4K down to 1080. I don't know if you can go as low as 720, which is about the minimum that you'd want for any quality. But when you do that, it records longer segments, like 2 minutes, 3 minute segments, and that might happen. But it's meant to record in segments, not continuous. So that's the nice thing I like about Blackview. They're nice segments. You can grab what you want. I've gotten in the habit, because I use a lot of them, is I'll just upload from the camera to my hard drive at the end of each day. So hope that answered that. Teresa T. Tafoya with a question.
Teresa is considering changing out her regular batteries to lithium.
I don't know what the thought would be other than good for you. If you only have one battery, the lithium batteries. Here's the thing, Teresa. Why are you trying to do that? Do you boondock a lot? Is your regular battery working okay? Are you a off the grid camper? If not, do you want to spend $1,000? That's what a lithium battery costs. And really, to get a lot of benefit, you need at least two, to be able to run your microwave and everything off of it. You need to have at least two of them. So that's $2,000 for just the batteries. And somebody's going to have to put them in. You're going to have to pay for that. Do you really need them?
And the converter?
And you might need an inverter, a new inverter. I don't know what RV you have, whether it's a trailer or a motorhome. So I can't give you any more advice, other than the fact that just because lithium, they're the best batteries for RVs, but a lot of people don't need that. Don't need them because you don't boondock and you plug in most of the time, and those AGMs are just fine. So while lithium is great, and they're very pricey, so you got to weigh that against it. I don't know enough about your situation to be able to give you any thought.
You've got.
Yep. So, Dr. Gary Daniel. Did I say Gary Daniel? Gary, there you go, man. All right.
With the Canadians not coming down this year, do you think the campgrounds will be more available to those of us traveling in the States?
Yeah, probably. Some of the places in Florida and in Arizona were, 20-30% snowbirds from Canada. They are not coming down, as indications that the Canadian border might stay closed till spring. So that's more room.
I think there's going to be more people camping.
I do too. That was I was just going to add. Yeah.
Yellowstone had like the second highest attendance.
Yellowstone is usually jammed with Asians because all the Asian countries are doing tours to Yellowstone. None of those this year. None of the Canadians this year. And they set their second highest attendance record ever because so many U.S. travelers were visiting.
And if the kids don't go back to school,
why would you want to stay home?
People are getting kind of used to working from home
and working. What you can work then from an RV.
I don't think there's going to be much difference.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I think there'll be a little bit.
There'll be a little bit, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Nancy says some of the Canadians have left their rigs down there where they rent spots. Well,
that ties up spots.
That ties up spots because they can't use them.
Yeah.
Canadians can't come in.
Well, I don't think they're going to rent them out because they're not prepared to let people rent them.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right on with that comment.
I think there's going to be a lot of people who would be pretty angry about that and might want those rigs towed out of there because they're taking up space. I guess if they're getting paid,
pay their money.
Yeah, if you get paid your money,
you pay their money. They've got the spots.
They don't care. They just want the money. Thanks for sharing that, Nancy. That's a good information. Lolly Daniels.
I am waiting for my 2021 WTSB.
That's her Wonder with the twin front bed unit. Yep.
Unit I watched and love you. I learned so much from you. Besides your program, any other programs you recommend that provide the same content that you do?
Oh gosh, Lolly, there's 420,000 other people who do this. So thank you for your compliment, and thank you that you choose us. But you know, so many of them are the really young folks who are out there living the van life, as they call it. Others, you know, there's a niche for everybody. There's people traveling with families. There's singles. If you're traveling as a single, there's Carolyn's RV.
Our guy that explores caves.
Yeah, there's a guy who does a video channel on cave exploration, and so
you name it, it's out there.
So there's lots of great places to look at. You know, in terms of the I call them adults. You know, the older folks who there's a bunch of them. Some of them are pretty good friends of ours. We like Traveling Robert, who travels off in a small travel trailer, Winnebago. We love Mark and Trish from Keep Your Daydreams. They travel with their kids, their teenage kids, and they're in the Airstream. And we like Kyle and Olivia and Driving and Vibing. We like the Getaway Couple. They're a lot of fun to watch. So there's a whole bunch. If you go back to rvlifestyle.com and look on our podcast page, you can see I have interviewed many of the other influencers out there. So you can spend every moment of every day watching RV influencers out there these days, Lolly. So thank you for your kind words. Rocky.
Does your RV have a turbocharged engine?
I think so. I don't remember. I think it does. It's I don't know, 5-point-something liter. I think it's turbo. I don't know, Rocky. I just drive it.
Somebody out there will know.
Somebody will know. Yeah. I don't know anything about the engine other than you turn it on and it runs on gas.
And it turns off and then it starts up again.
Yeah, and it's got the quiet. You know, when you stop at a stop sign, the engine turns off, and then you can turn that off. But I'm not a gearhead. I don't know much about the engine. Are you in a campground presently or boondock? We're in a campground. We have running water, hooked up water. We just used our shower. We have electricity. And this is where our son, who celebrated his birthday, and his family and his wife's family all came this weekend. And they were gracious enough to invite us to join them. So we had a big family, the last camp out of the season.
They invited us. We kind of said we're
Come to think of it, I don't know if they invited us either. We just came.
But let us know where you are.
We had a ball. I'll show you some of that in the video. We played a lot of games with the kids. And one of a cool game is you blindfold the kid and you take a little yarn and you tie a little donut. Those little donuts, they're about that big. Not the big ones, the little ones. And then you spin the kids around and they have to find and eat the donuts without using their hands. It's made for great video. And we made hobo pies, for breakfast with bread, buttered bread, some eggs, some scrambled eggs, and some bacon, and you put it in this cast iron thing that presses them down. You put it in the fire. It's awesome. So we had fun with that. So we did a family campground, and this is where they all came. And it's an interesting place because it's been around since 1935, and it's huge. It's on a nice little lake. Beautiful color in the trees. But guess everybody left today. The rain started. The wind's blown up. All the leaves have fallen off the trees. So the people got one final weekend. And
this is a very family oriented. There's lots of playground equipment, bouncy things.
Yeah,
it's geared for kids.
So we're gonna care. How do we join your supporters? Oh, James, you'd think I paid you to ask that. Thank you. Let me put up a link to that if I can go find it. I think I have one. Okay, here you go. If you want to go to rvlifestyle.com/members, it will show you. You can be a part of one of our supporters on YouTube or also on Facebook. And there's different levels and different access. But what we try to do with our supporters is be there more often for them, share what we're doing, give them some behind the scenes information. We answer their questions a little faster whenever we can. That's the first thing we check. And they get special discounts. And we're planning a members only gathering in early summer of 2021. We'll tell you more about that. So thank you for asking that. And that's how you find us, rvlifestyle.com/members, and you can learn all about it. This is an effort of us to try and be more supported by our community rather than corporations. Not that we love our sponsors. We really are very careful about who we accept sponsorships for. I've thought about doing a story sometime about the offers that we get every day from people who want us to tout their products or promote this or promote that. I mean, I get 5 to 10 a day. And then people who want to pay us money for me just to put a link to their products. And we don't do any of that. A lot of our influencers, we don't take any paid posts. We don't do that. But nevertheless, this has become a real job for us. So that's why we started this membership.
I don't know if it's frozen for you, but it's frozen for me. So we're just going to wait a few minutes and see if they come back on. So let's just hang in there, okay? So I'm just going to be a little placeholder for them while they probably reconnect, and hopefully they will get back on. And I just want to thank everyone for putting question in all caps before your question. It really does help a lot. Thank you very much. And thank you for the Facebook people for coming on. We're getting more and more every week. That's awesome. And I can't answer any of your questions, so I can't do anything but be a placeholder, and hopefully they will be joining soon. If they don't join soon, then I'll come back on and then we'll close it up for the night. But let's just all think good internet thoughts for them right now.
We now have figured out what the problem is. And the problem was that we were out of battery. Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, that was me calling you because I thought, well, maybe he just wants me to close it up. But there's some good questions in the rest of the chat.
All right, let's go through and hit as many as we can before it dies once again, and we'll be good. From Julia, thanks, Phyllis. Have you ever considered using the Mackinac Bridge Pass? Love the fall video. We don't go up there enough for it. You know, I mean, we're up 4 times a year.
That's we'll have to check into that. What it might be worth it.
Yeah, we aren't up enough to get it. Betty Sims,
did you resolve the blind side monitor issue? Aftermarket camera for the side. Other options for blind side? It's not an issue. I didn't get it, and I haven't missed it, and I don't think I'm going to get it. They're too expensive. Are really good. I'm feeling comfortable.
Yeah, she drives.
I like the camera, so I know what's behind me. But I feel comfortable with the mirrors.
Yeah, much better. So that's good. Rocky has a question.
What kind of engine is in your RV?
A gas engine, 5-point-something liter, 10 speed.
Go online and check out the.
Yeah, go check out the Ford Transit. It's an engine. You turn the key and it goes on. I don't know. When is Quartzsite? It's the second weekend, third week. Yeah. Second weekend of January.
Yeah, real close to
Tampa. A lot of controversy about Quartzsite. So many people going. So Leo Sunday has a question. My fiance Crystal and I have become regular viewers. Love it. Question: where are some of your favorite spots to dry camp along Route 66 between Oklahoma and Arizona? There's a million places. I don't know until I'm there. I mean, I don't plot it out ahead of time, Leo. I've not dry camped anywhere between Oklahoma and Arizona, but you know, we have a post it's a free post, an epic post on the blog about where to find free and cheap places to camp, and there's a million of them. I'll tell you that we love Harvest Host for dry camping. Love Harvest Host. We like Overnight RV Parking. It's another site we use all the time. So lots of resources, and you can find all of them just by looking at overnight camping, free camping. Search that on the RV Lifestyle blog. I've written a number of posts that'll help you find it, but you won't have any problems finding places at all. Kevin.
Do you have any more information on the watt fuel cell?
I think, Kevin, that as far as I know, that never happened. It was announced 2 years ago at what was it? Elkhart, the Elkhart Open Welcome to Dealers show in Indiana by Road Trek. road trek immediately then went belly up, and I believe all those plans to the promises of putting in the watts was the previous management, and I've not heard a thing about it. I would assume those guys are still working on it because they had a pretty good concept, but I don't. I know that was a big setback for them. They had put all their eggs in the road trek fiasco, and when road trek went belly up, I think a lot of their plans were put on hold or greatly delayed. Nomia Sousa has a question.
Okay, we just got our 2021 Leisure Wonder rear lounge. I noticed your dinette chairs have armrests. Did you order them that way, or was it standard? Ours don't have armrest, and they're a bit disappointed about the armrests.
We don't have a dinette.
No, we just have 2 chairs.
And they do have armrests
in the front. Now I'm wondering about.
I don't know. I think that the rear lounge did not have armrests because it was kind of a long thing. And remember, I believe that the rear lounge has a Murphy bed that comes down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe it has any armrest.
I don't remember an armrest with the rear lounge.
Yeah, the front 2 chairs behind the driver and the passenger side, those do have armrests on ours, which is the rear twin bed model. And we do not have it. Well, you do have a dinette if you hook up to the table. So that's it.
Yeah.
So
I take it they didn't get the sit-in one before they ordered it.
Would you have recommend any issues with an Adventure Class C? Now, I don't know if that's the brand name that you're talking about. You got a capital A on it, or that's a type. And if you mean, so I don't know. I don't know the brand Adventure. That doesn't ring a bell with me, so I can't give you any input on that, Kelly. I don't know the Adventure Class C, unless you're giving me a descriptive term for one of those, off-road overland type vehicles. And those are all fun, but we don't do a lot of overlanding. And those are survival zombie mobiles, to protect you from the zombie apocalypse. But the way you wrote that, it looks like that is a brand name, and I am not familiar with the Adventure brand. Dave.
Hey, what large items do you store and carry your Wonder RTB garage? And the reason we're asking is we're trying to decide between getting a Wonder rear twin bed or the Wonder rear lounge.
We love the garage. That was one of the reasons, Dave, we bought this unit, is because we can carry all the chairs we want. We can get a bicycle back there. We got so much room in the garage. And the large stuff, I've got quite a bit of stuff back in there. We've got a couple, 3 chairs, and I don't know what else we've put back in there. We didn't bring up some, much of our trips these days are working trips. So we don't really bring in our bikes or our e-bikes when we're on the road working. Those are what we use when it's just us and we're not doing videos. I do have some of my gear and equipment back there. And it gets to be a little pain in the rear lounge part of the RV because we have to bring it up to the front from the garage. I don't like to leave it out there when, because we don't want people going in and taking our stuff. But we love all that extra room.
Yeah, we do like the extra room. And I don't think they would have any problems. They got to figure it out. I mean, just look, study, make a list of what you need to bring and figure out where you would put it.
Yep. So, Wendy.
What do you use for a rear view mirror?
We installed a always-on rear camera at the back and the top of our vehicle, focused down the road, so that I can see what is behind us on this always-on monitor.
I don't think you wanted it, but I did.
Jen wanted it. I like it now. I do turn it off at night because I don't like the glare of the lights, but it's really nice during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that in the video review we did of the Wonder. So it's out there.
I want to know what's behind me.
Yep. Darlene, when you were in Quebec, could you share where the Class B show that you went to? We didn't go to a Class B show in Quebec.
We went to
a rally, yes. And that was from a group of leisure travel van owners, and they have different rallies in different parts of Quebec all the time. This one was in suburban Montreal. and it was in June, I think. But it wasn't a show. It was a club that invited us to come out there.
And we had a wonderful time.
We did.
Totally enjoyed it.
We did. We did. We did. Yep. More questions. Let's see. Raptor Man.
This year makes up for all the other times. We kept them over an hour with all our questions, lots of laughs. Well-deserved break for them, even though they didn't play.
You should have said,
obviously.
well, I couldn't figure out why it was kicking off, and I thought I had left it plugged in and charging, but our router's batteries had emptied out, and that's why we kept losing.
What happened?
Who knows?
How it got unplugged.
Got unplugged somehow or another.
Yeah, because we've been sitting still.
Yeah, yep.
For a few days.
So a couple things coming up this week that we want to tell you about. Tomorrow, of course, is the newsletter. If you've not picked up our RV Lifestyle newsletter, you can subscribe from the RVlifestyle.com blog. It's a full-fledged newsletter with all the stories and the resources and the information about the RV lifestyle that we think that will help you really have some great reading all week long. That is in your mailbox if you're part of a subscriber to that first thing every Monday morning. Tuesday, of course, is the RV podcast. And I take it back. It's Wednesday. Tuesday is when we record it. Wednesday is when the RV podcast comes out. And we have new content on our RV Lifestyle blog every single day. So that's our plans for this week. We leave here tomorrow and head to Elkhart, Indiana. And we have some business meetings there. And then we aren't sure.
May go home or
we may go home. We may stay. You know us. It's serendipity travel. If the cold rain continues, we're out of here. You know, it's nice. It's pleasant and cozy in the RV like it is tonight. But we like to move around in the daytime, and Bo needs his exercise. So that's where it is. A big video coming out Saturday on some of the fun RVs, different RVs, the more unique ones that we've seen. Stacy says, please don't forget my question. Help. Okay.
I wonder if we missed it somehow.
What is it? I don't know.
Could you see Stacy?
I just see Stacy says, please don't forget my question, but I have no idea. You know, folks, we always want to explain this, but with hundreds of you on asking questions, you know, they scroll by real quick, and we don't see all of them. We have Chris helping out. We have Phyllis helping out. But I have no idea, Stacy, what your question is. So I wish I could help you. Chris just put up where you can subscribe to the community. And I'm kind of looking, but
I saw Stacy.
Yeah, that's where yeah. So don't forget my question. So we went there. No, John, you got to get your real glasses back because they're not fine. Okay. I'm scrolling by and I can't find your question here anywhere, and I'm looking like an idiot because I keep going back and finding stuff. So there was one question before we cut off about the best insurance, and it's all different. It all depends on what RV you have. So if you want one, just do a search. We have a group. If you just go to RVlifestyle.com/ I believe it's RTI, and it will go and price out the best deals for your RV in your situation, and that will give you, competing bids. It's really a good thing. There's a question from Stacy. Need propane tank installed?
Depends on what state you're
Don't
in.
ask me, Stacy. I ain't doing it.
He's not handy.
I couldn't do it.
Call a propane.
You have to go to a dealer, go to an RV dealer, and they'll have to do it for you. I mean,
I wouldn't do that one myself.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that.
Knew what they were doing.
And is it on a travel trailer? Is it on a motorhome? Is it on a fifth wheel? We don't know the answers. So, but take whatever it is into an RV dealer, and they can tell you what you have to do or where to go, or they can do it for you. And I think that's a good advice. And with that, I think we have pretty much reached our hour-long limit. I'm sorry for the connection issues that we had for this one, but I'm glad we got a chance to be here and to interact with so many of you. Thank you, Phyllis. I'm going to bring you back on. Thank you so much.
It was great. Yeah. It was challenging, but fun.
Yeah. Are we still pixelated, or are we?
No,
okay
you
now?
Actually look really good now. So.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, maybe it was the low battery. That would have been the And I know Chris Cowley is out there working, and he's good. I did see a question here from Frank, who wanted to know, you guys in the UP? No, Frank, as we said at the beginning, we're now down in Southwest Michigan, and we're camping there, and it's been kind of fun hanging out with a lot of families. With our family for the weekend, and then we were working in Holland, Michigan earlier. Is this your last RV? No, I can guarantee that's not the case. Is it?
No, I don't think so.
As long as we can keep doing this, we'll keep doing it. I don't know what we'll get next, but we're always looking, and we want to have as much experience so we can answer your questions about different RVs by having some experience driving them. So, like now with this one, we know a lot about the Ford Transit. Just don't ask me engine questions, but I know about how the Ford Transit chassis works as an RV chassis, and we're very impressed with it. So. All right. Again, we want to explain why Jennifer's wearing her sunglasses at night. She broke her regular glasses here tonight, and she likes to help with those questions, and she's got to have her sunglasses. Thanks to Phyllis. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to all of you guys for being with us. And I know it was kind of a crazy show, and I hope you'll forgive us for kind of messing all of that stuff up. But it's been great being with you from a rainy, cold 41 degrees here in southwestern Michigan. Maybe we'll see snow flurries if we stay up later tonight.
Well, don't let Bo hear that there's snow in the Upper Peninsula.
Yep, Bo loves snow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Happy trails.